Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariah and I'm a rotational physiotherapist in the UK, and I post things physiotherapy and lifestyle related content here on my channel. So if you're interested in that, subscribe, notification bell to all so you never miss a video. Today, I'm not gonna lie, while I'm doing this reflection on my first month in my respiratory rotation with you guys, I have a bunch of clothes to fold because I am Sundaying. Adult lifing and Sundaying, unfortunately, which involves doing a lot of laundry. Anyway, so as I said, I want to do a reflection on how my first month in respiratory has been. Yeah. So I rotated to respiratory in February, what, 17th or something like that? Like middle of February. I rotated, I left complex and I moved to the respiratory team. And because my weekend shift was coming up come the start of May, I went straight to being in the critical care area. So at my hospital, the respiratory physios have 4 wards. Well, you could say 4 or 3. Essentially, you've got ITU, CCU, acute respiratory ward, and respiratory ward. Essentially is how it's broken down. And I was placed onto the ICU slash CCU. Whoever's on critical care basically covers both of those in the day. So I was placed on there for the first 2 weeks just because I was going to go into the weekend shift first out of all the other band 5s. So I rotated with 3, well, I'm one of the 3 band 5s that rotated onto the respiratory team when I rotated. I enjoyed critical care. I was there for 2 weeks and then I went on annual leave, pre-planned annual leave and everything, because I'm not sure if you know, but the rota changes not the rota, your holiday allowance updates in April. So I was like, no, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna leave it. I don't really want to go anywhere. I'm fine. Because I started in September and I was like, I've just come off a big holiday. I had just been to Canada for 3 weeks, and if you haven't seen that, check out those videos because Canada was amazing. Anyway, I had just been to Canada for 3 weeks, so I was kind of just like, no need for a holiday, but you got to use it up or you lose it. So I booked 2 holidays for March and the first holiday came up. So anyway, so I did 2 weeks on critical care. While I was on critical care, so a mixture of patients. It's definitely some conditions that I hadn't seen before, and it was interesting seeing like the differences between how ITU and CCU is done at my hospital versus how it was done at the hospital where I did my elective placement. There is just a different like layout. Equipment pretty much the same. Names of equipment sometimes differs, and that just comes in general with many places. Names of equipment just differs, and it's a bit like, oh, I don't know what that is. And especially one thing I found a little frustrating, not with like how it went, just myself in general, was that obviously because I hadn't been on ITU since July, well since my last placement, there were some abbreviations and some things that I knew, but I just couldn't recall at the time because I hadn't had to use it for months. So it was a bit frustrating when I was like, what's that? Even though I already know the answer, I'm still gonna have to ask you, which is a bit annoying personally. As expected, first day on the rotation, it was a little overwhelming in terms of with the information that I was given, but that's expected. I imagine every single rotation I go to, I'm going to be a bit overwhelmed on the first day because it's going to be a new area, new team. Luckily, it's in the same hospital, so I don't have to worry about, these being completely new people. Every team, I think I've met people from every single team where I would rotate to. So it's nice that it's not a complete like, hi, my name's Mariah, who are you, kind of thing. Yeah, so that was a nice thing. It's just a lot of information to go into and a lot of things that like, okay, well, you did that like that there, but here we don't do it like that on these wards. But come the second day in, I was like, okay, cool, I kind of got this. And especially because like I had late shifts coming up on my second week, so I had to be comfortable at running critical care at points, because when you're on the late shift, sometimes you may be asked to go straight to critical care to support, or you may have to support the wards. So it's just basically having that knowledge. And especially when I did my weekend shift, what happens is there's only one member from the actual respiratory team that joins, and then you're accompanied by one of the or whoever's on call basically. So I was the respiratory worker, and then on Saturday I had whoever was on call, and Sunday I had whoever was on call with me. On Sunday, I'm not sure if it's done like this at every hospital, but on Sunday the pediatric team doesn't offer a Sunday service, like the physios don't do it there, but we cover pediatrics on a Sunday, so it meant I was stretched even further. So we cover the wards that I said before, and we cover the outliers, and then we cover like what peds comes under the outliers. So yes, it was quite a bit, but I think I'm settling well in some aspects. Like because I took those 2 holidays as well, I think it hasn't helped with me completely officially like feeling like completely comfortable in the team. I feel comfortable with majority of the knowledge that I need on a day-to-day basis. When it comes to conditions that just pop up, I'm a bit like, let me research that because I haven't seen that in a while, or I haven't heard of that full stop. But everybody's really good at being able to like being approachable for you to ask them questions if need be. Like we have 3 band 6s, and you're usually on a ward with band 6, so you can ask them questions on things that you don't know or you're not comfortable with, etc. Like for me, I'll openly say I'm not comfortable with NIV, and so it's one of my rotational goals to become comfortable with NIV and understand it better than I currently do. Like I know it's CPAP and BiPAP, but I can't just relay like, oh boom, this is the indications, and boom, these are what this saying means, and that's what this is means. So yeah, I'm just taking this opportunity to do that. I think while I'm on this placement, this rotation, I might ask to spend some time with like it's like the pulmonary rehab physios to see what they get up to, get a little bit of understanding of them. Yeah, I think it'll be good. It's going well so far. The only thing I would say that is a bit about it is that currently I think it's just because they want all of us 5s to get experience on the critical care wards before we like before you do your weekend shift is the only thing. Yeah, so the only thing I'll complain about is that right now we're bouncing around the 4 wards every 2 weeks, and for me that meant that I've only had officially 2 weeks on critical care, which I needed for my weekend, and then when I came back from my first trip I then had 2 days on one ward, and then because I took a week off because I worked that weekend, I then had a week off with annual leave and everything. And I've come back and I'm now on another ward. So it's like, I'm not confident that I will be on the same ward I've been on last week, this week. Because I don't know if it's every 2 weeks or whether we're just doing a regular turnover. Like, I don't know. So it's kind of like, it occasionally feels like once I've got into the swing of understanding a ward, I'm then moved to another one. So it's something I think I'll definitely bring up in my supervision, because I'm a bit like, I need some form of structure. What's going on happening here? I think the only reason it's throwing me off a little bit is because before I had just one ward that was my ward, and that was like nice because I always knew where I was going to go. Like it was just more like, oh, who's going to be with me versus where am I going. So that's like one criticism I'll say I have. Yeah, I think that's like the only actual criticism I have for it. But in terms of speciality, I am enjoying it. I am enjoying doing respiratory physio on a daily basis. It's one of the areas I really enjoy, and like I've said before, it may just be because majority of my student placements leaned towards respiratory. But yeah, I'm happy with it so far. The 4 months are gonna fly by, because I can't believe like right now we're in March, well the end of March, and then before we twist and turn we're going to be in April. I know April is going to fly by. So yeah, it's just trying to make the most of everything, I guess. But that's how my first month has been. We'll see what I come with come the end of these 4 months of the rotation, and I'll let you know whether I get any time with the pulmonary rehab team. Hopefully, and hopefully I have a better understanding of NIV, and all this experience ultimately is going to help me with my on-calls So I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, that was just a quick pop in and everything while I'm doing my laundry. I know, sorry if it was distracting, it's just I really need to get this done. But I'll catch you guys in another catch up. Bye guys.